This is a favorite question of question paper setters. What is the dramatic monologue? We shall begin by examining the term dramatic monologue. What is a monologue? A monologue is a speech. What is a dialogue? A dialogue is also a speech. But in the case of the dialogue, the auditor, the listener, contributes to it and converts the speech into a conversation. However, in the case of the monologue, the auditor does not contribute to it, and hence the monologue does not become a conversation. A monologue is largely a one sided exercise. A dramatic monologue, we shall look at the term drama. A drama is a play. A drama is a piece of fiction that is represented rather than narrated. A drama is a play, and a dramatic monologue is a drama compressed into a monologue. We have in front of us only the monologue, but by reading the monologue, we see the enactment of a drama. A number of conditions have to be fulfilled by a poem in order to qualify as a dramatic monologue. The first of these is that there should be a speaker. If there is no speaker, there is no speech, no monologue. The speaker can be anyone except the poet. Of course, frequently, some qualities of the poet may rub off on the speaker. That's fine. But there should never ever be a possibility of complete identification between the speaker and the poet. Thus, the first condition to be fulfilled by a poem in order to become a dramatic monologue is the presence of a speaker. The second condition to be fulfilled is auditor. There is no point in the speaker making a speech if there is no one to listen to it. So there has to be a listener, there has to be an auditor. However, this auditor has to remain silent. This listener should not contribute, because once he starts contributing, it becomes a dialogue. And in this case, it is not a dialogue, but a monologue. And mono, as you know, means one. Thus, the second condition is that the speaker who delivers the monologue has a listener or an auditor who does not verbally contribute, but whose responses, whose reactions are frequently made known to us from the monologue itself. The monologue makes it clear to the reader that there is a listener and that he is responding to the monologue but not verbally contributing. The third condition is character revelation. The monologue should result in the revelation of the character of the speaker. This revelation should be graphic, should be vivid, and by the time the monologue comes to an end, we must feel that we have met the speaker and met him in flesh and blood at that. It is not necessary that this character revelation should be confined to the speaker alone. Sometimes we get pictures of the characters of others as well, such as the listener or sometimes a third party. The fourth condition is critical moment. A typical dramatic monologue is usually cited at a critical moment in the life of the speaker. This serves to heighten the tension in the atmosphere and impart a sense of urgency to the proceedings. Frequently, it is this condition, the critical moment, that contributes very significantly to the success of the dramatic monologue. The fifth condition is argumentative mode. The archetypal dramatic monologue adopts the argumentative mode. The speaker builds his case point by point. He tries to convey his perspectives forcefully. He tries to convince the listener effectively, and through the listener, he tries to convince the reader. Sixth condition, the last condition, is glimpses of the age. The dramatic monologue almost always provides the reader with flashes of the age, with glimpses of the place, of the time in which the monologue is cited. And these glimpses are often extremely interesting and extremely impressive. I've already said that a dramatic monologue is a drama compressed into a monologue. The monologue is a microcosm of the drama. What are the features of the genre called drama? Plot, characters, action. In its own way, the dramatic monologue should reflect these characteristics. Of course, these characteristics cannot be actually present in the dramatic monologue, but the dramatic monologue should, in its own way, reflect these characteristics and impact the reader powerfully and hold the attention of the reader from the beginning to the end. And by the time the reader finishes reading the dramatic monologue, he must get the false impression, he must get the illusion of having watched a drama. Let us move from theory to praxis, and let us try to apply the theoretical concepts that we have discussed to a specific case. I have chosen my last status of Robert Browning, which is one of my all-time favorites. Let us try to find out how far my last status fulfills the conditions necessary to make it a dramatic monologue. The first condition is speaker. There certainly is a speaker in the poem, and the speaker is obviously not Browning himself. The speaker in my last status is the Duke. Browning refuses to reveal the name of the Duke, but it is generally believed that Browning modeled the Duke in his poem on Alfonso II, who ruled over Ferrara and who was the last ducal representative of the ancient house of Este. The second condition is auditor. There is most certainly an auditor, a listener in the poem. and the listener is the emissary who is trying to contract the next marriage, a new marriage for the Duke. The third condition is character revelation. There is brilliant character revelation in My Last Duchess. We get graphic pictures of the character of the Duke. He strikes us as a proud man, a haughty man, an arrogant man, a cruel man. He is a great lover of the arts. He is also a great patron of the arts. He is very proud of his 900-year-old name. He, it has to be admitted, appears to be a very honest man. He reveals that, he indirectly reveals that he killed his first wife. Let me try to remember the exact words. I gave commands, then all smiles stopped to gather. I gave commands, then all smiles stopped to gather. What interesting words they are, what interesting lines they are. So the Duke indirectly admits that he killed his first wife. And you must remember that he is saying this to the emissary who is trying to contract the next marriage of the Duke. Thus, the Duke is certainly a very honest man. He probably hints to the emissary that the fate of his first wife could be shared by his next wife as well. And no holds barred honesty. We get brilliant glimpses, equally brilliant glimpses of the character of the wife, the dead wife of the Duke. Again, it is said that the poet modeled the character of the wife on the real life wife of Alfonso II, that is, on Lucretia de Medici. In real life, Lucretia was, and in the poem, the dead wife of the Duke is a very innocent girl. She is beautiful, she has a very attractive smile. She totally fails to understand the character of her husband, who is an arrogant, jealous schemer. In real life, Lucretia de Medici died some 2 years or 3 years after her marriage to Alfonso II under mysterious circumstances. And it was widely rumored in Italy that she had been poisoned by the Duke, or poisoned at the orders of the Duke. The fourth condition is critical moment. The Duke is certainly facing a critical moment. The Duke is certainly positioned in a critical moment. He is going to marry. Can there be a more critical moment in the life of a man than the moment just before marriage? The fifth condition is argumentative mode. The Duke certainly adopts the argumentative mode. He tries to put across his points forcefully. He tries to justify himself and his actions, and to a large extent succeeds in his efforts. The sixth condition, the last condition, is flashes of the age. We get spectacular glimpses of Renaissance Italy in My Last Duchess. We get flashes of the world of Renaissance Italy. And it is a world of splendor and squalor, of glory and misery, of innocence and cunning, of arrogance and humility, of life and death.